The performance anxiety lie that makes you busy, not productive. You worked all day, switched tools twice, color-coded a plan, yet nothing shipped. That punch in your gut? It's performance anxiety wearing a productivity costume. When you're scared of judgment, smart, busy work feels safe and looks responsible, but it quietly kills output. Today, we'll flip that reflex. I'll give you a 5-minute minimum viable momentum protocol that forces visible progress without triggering your inner critic. We'll run it once together right now so you feel the relief. Then I'll show you how to apply it to research rabbit holes, perfectionist drafting, and setup spirals. Plus the one boundary that keeps tiny starts from becoming new traps. Run MVM once right now. Right now, say this with me. Right now, I'll ship the smallest visible unit in 5 minutes. That language matters. Finish is vague and heavy. Ship is concrete and light. We're not polishing. We're getting one atom out of your head and into the world. This is behavioral activation in action, a research-backed approach first articulated in the 1970s by Peter Lewinsohn and later expanded by Jacobson, Martel, and Demigian. Small, concrete actions that change state before motivation arrives. Here's the tiny ship definition so you know what qualifies. 1 sentence, 1 subject line, 1 rectangle, 1 commit, 1 checklist tick, 1 number filled into a field. It must leave your head and exist somewhere you can point to after 5 minutes. Set a 5-minute timer. It's short enough to dodge threat, long enough to move something real. When it starts, pick one tiny ship and do only that. No silent upgrades. No while I'm here expansions. You're proving to your brain that starts are safe and bounded. In neuroscience terms, you're keeping the amygdala's threat signal low enough that the prefrontal cortex, the planning and control system, can stay online. At the ding, you'll follow the stop and rest rule. Step away for 60 seconds. Stand, breathe out a bit longer than you inhale, look at something far away. That longer exhale nudges your parasympathetic system via vagal tone, lowering arousal so your prefrontal cortex can stay engaged. That pause is how you build trust with yourself. If every start hides a hidden marathon, your body will resist the next one. This stop teaches, I keep promises. Let's run an example together. If you've been avoiding a draft, your tiny ship is one ugly thesis line. Timer on. Type the ugliest, most disposable version of your point. Don't fix it. Don't format it. When the timer hits stop, stand, shake your hands, that's it. Now decide, not drift. After your 60 seconds, ask, do I want one more 5-minute unit? Want, not should. If yes, run another minute on a second tiny ship, maybe 2 bullets under that thesis. If no, close with confidence. Either choice is a win because the goal was motion you can see, not a perfect outcome. Common mistake to watch for, secretly upgrading the scope to I'll just finish it. The second you switch rules mid-minute, you break the trust you're trying to build. Your brain remembers starts equal traps. Keep the boundary, 5 minutes, 1 unit, stop, rest, decide. If you picked a different domain, the rule still holds. Email, draft 1 subject line or 1 first sentence, save it. Design, drop 1 rectangle or write 1 component name. Research, skim 1 abstract and capture 1 sentence takeaway in your notes. Code, 1 commit that removes a warning or adds a comment with a TODO. Admin, mark 1 form field complete. Timer hit, step away for 60 seconds. That micro rest decouples relief from avoidance and pairs it with action. You should feel a small drop in tension. That's the signal it's working. Good, you've banked a visible win. With that done, we can map the mechanism that keeps you busy and show you exactly where to use MVM to break it on command. Map the mechanism. Fear right arrow, busy trap right arrow, no ship. Let's map why you felt better organizing than shipping. It starts with imposter fear. When judgment feels close, your brain flags threat. The amygdala fires, sympathetic arousal rises, and the prefrontal cortex loses bandwidth. Under threat, attention narrows. You stop seeing gradients and only see 2 options, nail it or get nailed. That binary pressure makes every first move feel expensive, so your body hunts for the fastest relief. Now here's where most people mess up. They confuse relief with progress. Planning, researching, and tool tuning drop anxiety faster than shipping, so your brain learns, do more of that. That's relief learning, classic negative reinforcement. Removing discomfort strengthens the avoidance pattern. Avoidance or over-optimization wins because it buys an instant exhale. Shipping takes longer and feels riskier. So the loop forms. Fear spikes, you grab smart, busy work, anxiety dips, nothing ships, identity erodes, fear returns heavier. Over-optimization becomes a safety blanket. Frameworks, checklists, dashboards, color codes, each looks rational and responsible, but the real function is distance. As long as you're preparing, you're not exposing anything to judgment. Your nervous system loves that. The cost is invisible at first. The work stays in your head. The signal that matters, an external artifact, never arrives. No artifact means no evidence, and no evidence feeds the story, I'm not ready yet. Cognitive optics matter here. Ambiguity plus identity stakes equals stall and polish. When a task is fuzzy and your self-worth is tied to getting it right, you'll try to remove fuzziness before you move. That's why you build giant plans or read 20 tabs. It feels like diligence. Really, it's an attempt to manufacture certainty, so the first step won't sting. The paradox: certainty grows fastest after you ship a tiny piece, not before. Perfectionism slides in as camouflage. You tell yourself, I'm just raising the bar. But perfect is a moving target with infinite edits. It delays exposure and keeps threat at bay. Meanwhile, your calendar fills, your energy drains, and your output is still zero. Busyness without output confirms the fear you were trying to outrun. Research on perfectionism, e.g., Hewitt and Flett, Sirois, 2014, shows perfectionists procrastinate more, not less, because fear of falling short makes avoidance feel safer than starting. Identity erosion kicks in. See, I can't finish. That belief makes the next start even heavier. The loop tightens. Let me show you the but therefore pattern so you can hear the trap. I'll do more research so I don't look foolish. But research has no stop built in, therefore the first step never happens, therefore you don't get feedback, therefore you still feel unprepared, therefore you plan more. Same with tooling. If I set up the perfect system, I'll fly. But systems expand to fill your courage gap, therefore you polish dashboards, not drafts. The thing most people miss is signal to noise. Planning creates noise that feels like signal because it's detailed and neat. Signal is a shipped atom, one sentence to a doc, one subject line saved, one rectangle on the canvas, one commit pushed. Signal changes the outside world, even if by a millimeter. A clean test: could a stranger open, read, click, or see it? If yes, it's signal. If no, it's noise. That single millimeter collapses ambiguity and shrinks future threat, because you're not guessing anymore. You're reacting to something real. Now, why does shipping feel harder in the moment? Threat assigns a cost to exposure that planning doesn't pay. Your body is trying to protect you. The hack isn't to brute force through fear, it's to move the relief. If the fastest relief comes from motion instead of avoidance, your nervous system will pick motion. That's the key lever. Migrate relief from planning to micro-shipping. Here's the mental model that helps. Outcome vs outflow. Outcome is the finished product, big, slow, ambiguous. Outflow is the smallest unit that leaves your head, small, quick, concrete. If you measure outcome under threat, you hesitate. If you measure outflow, you move. Outflow accumulates into outcome without demanding bravery up front. That's why the MVM works. It converts a heavy outcome into a light outflow and pays you with immediate relief. In clinical terms, that's behavioral activation. Action drives mood and motivation, not the other way around. Let me make it concrete with micro-stories. A student sat on a presentation for a week, built a gorgeous outline, and still couldn't start slides. We picked one outflow, drop one ugly title slide. She did it in under a minute. Suddenly, the second slide wasn't theoretical, it was just next. Another client prepared his code base with tooling upgrades for 2 days. One 5-minute commit that fixed a warning did more to restore confidence than all the setup. The difference: evidence beat intention. Once you see the loop, you can interrupt any beat. Lower ambiguity by defining a tiny ship. Reduce threat by time-boxing 5 minutes. Prevent drift with the stop and rest. Protect identity by counting outflows, not hours. Each interruption weakens the relief learning that keeps you stuck. Stack 2 or 3 and the loop collapses quickly. Before we continue, you need to understand the boundary that makes this stick. Starts must stay safe. That means no adding goals mid-minute and always stopping at the ding at least once per session. Break that, and your nervous system tag starts as traps again. Keep it, and start stay light. Once you nail that, everything else clicks. You'll still plan, you'll still research, you'll still use tools, just in service of outflow. We'll aim MVM at the 3 biggest busy traps next so you can flip relief on command and rebuild trust fast. Why busy feels smart but kills output. Planning feels rational, shipping feels risky. Under threat, your brain ranks certainty over progress. Plans are cert. You can see the boxes, the colors, the frameworks. Shipping is uncert. You might be judged. So smart busy wins the moment but loses the day. The feeling of control tricks you into thinking you moved the work. You didn't. You moved the anxiety. That's negative reinforcement again. Relief from anxiety rewards the behavior that produced the relief, even if it didn't produce results. Now here's the thing most people miss. Busy gives you fast dopamine without external evidence. Sorting tasks, labeling notes, tuning systems, each action produces a tiny "I'm on it" hit. That's false progress. Real progress is evidence in the world. A sentence saved, a subject line drafted, a commit pushed. Without an artifact, you're feeding your nervous system reassurance and starving your identity of proof. Scope creep camouflages itself as diligence. I'll just make the outline complete becomes, let me read 3 more sources becomes, maybe a new tool would help. Each hop looks reasonable in isolation. Together, they push the actual deliverable further away. Perfectionism hides fear in polished language. I owe this my best. Translation, I'm not willing to be seen starting small. The paradox is brutal. The longer you protect yourself from exposure, the scarier exposure gets. Signal to noise is your practical test. Signal changes the outside world, even slightly. Noise only rearranges the inside. If you can't point to something a stranger could open, read, click, or see, you produced noise. If you remember nothing else here, remember this: measure signal, not satisfaction. Satisfaction is sticky and unreliable under threat. Signal is concrete. Examples: a new line in a shared doc signal, a reorganized personal note title noise. One draft subject saved signal, a color-coded inbox label noise. Let me show you the shortcut nobody teaches. Swap outcome questions for outflow questions before you start. Instead of, what's the best way to do this? Ask, what's the smallest visible unit I can ship in 5 minutes? That single swap drops the weight by moving you out of evaluation and into execution. Once one atom exists, clarity rises and fear falls. You don't need the perfect path when the next step is reacting to something real. The game changer nobody talks about is decision friction. Every extra click, login, or vague task name adds tiny taxes your threatened brain doesn't want to pay. Busy offers instant relief with 0 taxes, so you default there. That's why we built the 5-minute boundary and the stop and rest. They remove hidden costs and promise a clean exit. Start stay safe, which makes them repeatable. Okay, so how do you flip the relief today? 3 moves. First, cap planning. Give planning a unit that ships. 1-page plan saved to the project folder is signal. Brainstorm for a while is noise. When the minute ends, you must have a file you could hand someone. No file, no plan, just thinking. Second, pre-commit the ship unit before you open tools. Say out loud, 5 minutes, 1 thesis sentence, or 5 minutes, 5 subject lines decisions. Language locks scope. Scope locks safety. Safety unlocks motion. Third, separate prep from polish. Prep creates doors, polish removes splinters. Under threat, you'll try to polish the door before you've built it. Don't. Ship a rough door, then choose whether to sand. Common mistakes to avoid: upgrading scope mid-minute, changing tools inside the timer, and rating the minute by how it felt. The minute counts if and only if a unit shipped. That keeps your metrics honest and your brain trained on evidence. Micro story: a designer kept organizing assets for a client deck. Hours gone, no slide shipped. We set a 5-minute unit, export 1 image and paste it into slide 1 with a placeholder caption. He did it. Suddenly slide 2 wasn't a project, it was a repeat. 2 more 5-minute units and he had a skeleton deck. Planning wasn't the problem, signal was. Mental model time: outcome vs outflow. Outcomes are lagging indicators. Outflows are leading indicators. If you measure outcomes when threat is high, you stall. If you measure outflows, you move and the outcome follows. So count shipped atoms, not prep hours. 5 atoms today beat 5 productive hours with nothing visible. Once you nail this, everything else clicks. Planning regains its place as a support activity, not a hiding place. Tools become amplifiers, not shields. And your brain learns the right lesson: motion brings relief faster than avoidance. That single prediction change is how busy stops feeling smart and shipping starts feeling inevitable. The MVM protocol, anatomy and boundaries. Let's lock the protocol so it runs the same way every time. Consistency keeps start safe and makes your brain trust the process. Part 1, define the tiny ship. A tiny ship is one unit that leaves your head and lands somewhere external. It must be a thing you can point to afterward, one sentence in the doc, one subject line in drafts, one rectangle in Figma, one commit in Git, one checkbox marked on the live list. The test is simple. Could a stranger open, see, or click it? If yes, it's a ship. If not, it's prep. The thing most people miss is specificity at this step. Work on intro is fog. Write one ugly thesis line in the intro doc has edges. Clear edges lower threat. Part 2, the 5-minute timer. 5 minutes is short enough to dodge identity panic and long enough to move real atoms. You're using time as a boundary, not a dare. Set an external timer, phone, watch, kitchen timer, so you're not doing mental math. That timer becomes your trusted container. While it runs, you do only the pre-chosen unit. Don't change tools, don't expand scope, and don't track how you feel. You're buying progress with attention. The timer holds the door open. Your job is to walk through it. Keeping exposure brief reduces amygdala escalation and preserves prefrontal control. Part 3, stop and rest. At the ding, stop. Even if you're mid-sentence, even if you feel momentum. Stand up and take a 60-second pause. Exhale a bit longer than you inhale. Look across the room. This stop isn't moral theater. It's nervous system training. That longer exhale nudges parasympathetic activity so arousal drops. If every start stealthily morphs into a 40-minute grind, your body will learn. Starts mean traps. One clean stop teaches, starts end cleanly. That trust cuts the cost of the next start by half. Optional Part 4, reassess. After the 60 seconds, ask, do I want one more 5-minute unit? Use want, not should. If yes, choose the next specific tiny ship and run another 5. If no, count the win and close. Choosing is the power. Drifting is the trap. You're proving you can start and stop on command, which restores agency and keeps your energy clean. Guardrails make this reliable. Guardrail 1, no adding goals mid-minute. The only unit that counts is the unit you named before the timer started. Guardrail 2, no silent upgrades. I'll just finish the section is an upgrade. If the thought pops up, note it and return to the unit. Guardrail 3, one tool per minute. Don't switch apps to feel busy. Guardrail 4, at least one full stop per session. If you always blow past the first ding, you're training the opposite lesson. Here's the script to run out loud every time. 5 minutes, 1 unit, stop, breathe, decide. Mouth tweer beats rumination. The script shrinks decisions and tells your body exactly what happens next. If you feel resistance, shorten the unit, not the rule. Keep the protocol intact and make the ship smaller. 1 clause, 1 file name, 1 field, 1 rectangle. Start stay safe when the edges stay tight. Why this works under pressure. Threat makes ambiguity feel expensive. The tiny ship removes ambiguity. Threat also tells you exposure is dangerous. The timer and stop make exposure brief and predictable. Together, they move relief from avoidance to motion. In behavioral terms, you're replacing avoidance-based negative reinforcement with action-based relief, behavioral activation. Your body learns, I can touch the work and be safe. Once that prediction updates, starting requires less courage. Let me show you exactly how to set it up in the wild. Before opening any app, state your unit. Write one ugly summary sentence. Start the timer, place hands on the keys, write only that sentence. Ding, stand, breathe out longer, ask want. If yes, pick the next unit, add 2 bullets. If no, close the file and mark the win. Whole cycle, 6 minutes. That's the shape. Common mistakes and quick fixes. Mistake, defining a unit that's actually 2 units. Outline intro and body is 2. Fix, force a single verb and a single target. Mistake, using the minute to decide the unit. Fix, decide before the timer. Mistake, judging the quality during the minute. Fix, ban evaluation words till after reassess. Mistake, just peeking at related tabs. Fix, full screen the task window during the 5. If you remember nothing else, remember this rule of thumb: the smaller the unit, the stronger the protocol. Small makes starts easy. Easy makes starts repeatable. Repeatable builds trust. Trust unlocks bigger blocks later without the crash. Once you nail the anatomy and boundaries, everything else we do plugs in cleanly. Research gets a ship. Drafting gets a ship. Setup gets a ship. and your day stops being a negotiation with fear and starts being a series of safe, visible moves you can stack by choice, not by pressure. Trap 1, the research rabbit hole. This one's sneaky because it wears a lab coat. Why it happens? Ambiguity plus status stakes. When the question is fuzzy and the audience matters, your nervous system begs for certainty. Research provides instant relief without exposure. Each new tab feels like progress, but nothing leaves your head. You collect highlights, not artifacts. The backlog grows, your confidence shrinks. The thing most people miss is that input has no natural stop. Sources chain to more sources, and just one more is always rational. That's why you need a unit that ships, outflow, not just intake. Enter the tiny ship menu for research. Keep it boring and specific. Skim one abstract and capture one sentence takeaway. Pull one stat and paste the exact citation under it. Write one claim plus the source you'll use to support it. Translate one quote into a plain language summary. Let's run a 5-minute MVM in research. Say it out loud. 5 minutes, one abstract, one sentence. Start the timer. Open exactly one source you already queued or pick the top result and stop. Skim the abstract only, no scrolling the full PDF. Then write one sentence in your notes that starts with "this suggests" and add the link beneath it. Ding, stop, stand for 60 seconds, breathe out longer. Decide, do I want one more 5? If yes, choose a new unit. If no, mark the win. Now here's where most people mess up. They highlight paragraphs without creating an outflow artifact. Highlights are mental IOUs. Artifacts are evidence. Your one sentence is the artifact, the link is the receipt. Another common mistake, switching sources mid-minute because the first one wasn't perfect. That's scope creep disguised as rigor. Keep the unit. Make a note if the source is weak and move on at reassess. A quick friction fix. Pre-stage a research ship note with 3 lines at the top. One sentence takeaway. Source URL. Where it plugs in, when the timer starts, you fill those 3 lines only. That template turns input into outflow without thinking. Let me show you the 3x MVM chain that beats binge research. Across an hour, you run 3 5-minute units with clean rests and context switches between. Unit 1, one abstract, one sentence. Rest. Unit 2, one stat with source pasted and a quick why it matters clause. Rest. Unit 3, one counterpoint sentence from a second source. In 18 minutes of total work time, you now have 3 artifacts you can drop straight into a draft. That outflow collapses ambiguity and tells you precisely what to research next, because the gaps are visible in your notes. Guardrails keep this clean. One source per unit. Abstracts or executive summaries first. Save full texts for later sprints. No citation format or mid-minute. Paste raw, fix later. No tab gardens. Full screen a single window during the 5. Micro story. A consultant had 22 tabs open for a market slide and was organizing highlights for 2 days. We switched to MVM, one Gartner abstract, one sentence link. Then a status to figure, one sentence link. Then one skeptical analyst quote, one sentence link. 15 minutes total work, 3 artifacts, and the slide practically built itself. The relief moved from collecting to shipping. Upgrade once the basics click. Try claim first, research. Before you open anything, write one tentative claim in ugly language. Remote onboarding drops productivity 10-20% in month 1. Then your 5-minute unit is, find one credible source that supports, refutes, or bounds that claim and capture one sentence plus the link. You're not proving yourself right, you're anchoring the search to a ship. Finally, stop and rest matters even more in research because drift loves open loops. At the ding, close or hide the tab stack for 60 seconds. If you always peek for 1 second, your brain learns the door never closes. Respect the stop, protect the next start. If you remember nothing else for research, remember this: every unit ends with one sentence and one source. That's your signal. When signal stacks, drafts write themselves, and rabbit holes lose their teeth. Trap 2, perfectionist drafting. Drafting stalls for a simple reason. Your identity is fused to your words. If the line looks bad, you feel bad. So you delay exposure by planning, rearranging, and warming up the doc. Perfection beats presence. The cost? No sentence ships, so fear stays high and clarity stays low. The fix is to separate voice from verdict and move one ugly unit onto the page. Why this happens? Under threat, your brain narrows options to perfect or don't start. The amygdala pushes urgency. The prefrontal cortex loses flexibility. That binary makes the first line carry the weight of the whole piece. You'll try to outsmart the pain by polishing in your head, but thinking in advance is infinite. The thing most people miss is that language becomes easier only after words exist. Drafting is sculpting clay. No clay, no sculpture. Here's your tiny ship menu for drafting. Ugly thesis, one disposable summary of your main point. Placeholder intro, one line that simply announces the topic, not the tone. 3-bullet scaffold, 3 crude beats you'll fill later. 1 transition, a single bridge like so what, or here, why it matters. Now a 5-minute run you can copy. Say it out loud. 5 minutes, 1 ugly first line plus 2 bullets. Timer on, type the ugliest thesis you can tolerate. Make it obviously imperfect so your critic has nothing to chase. Example, this draft shows how tiny 5-minute ships beat perfect plans. Then add 2 crude bullets under it. Why busy kills output. How to run 1 MVM on a draft. Ding, stop, stand, breathe out longer. Ask, do I want one more 5? If yes, add the 3rd bullet or a placeholder intro. If no, close and count the ship. Now here's where most people mess up. They start editing inside the minute. You'll backspace, swap adjectives, tweak commas. That's an edit set, not a draft set. Editing inside the 5 reactivates judgment and inflates weight. Keep drafting dirty. If you must fix something, wrap it in brackets like fix later and move on. Another mistake is silently changing the goal. I'll just finish the opening. That's a scope upgrade. Return to the unit. 1 ugly line, 2 bullets. Try the bad then batch upgrade when you want more speed. Collect a pile of bad lines first, then batch edit later in a separate session. Draft set, stack 5 ugly thesis options. Ding. Rest. Edit set, choose the least bad and trim it for 60 seconds. Separating creation from correction protects momentum and keeps each mode light. A friction fix that saves minutes. Pre-stage a draft start block at the top of your doc. Ugly thesis. Bullets 1, 2, 3. Placeholder intro, this piece is about. When you open the file, your hands have a runway. You're not inventing the task, you're filling blanks. Clarity beats courage. Micro story, a founder sat on a fundraising update for 2 weeks, finalizing tone. We ran 1 5-minute MVM, ugly thesis. We grew 12% but churn spiked, here's the fix. 2 bullets, why churn? What we're doing now. Ding. She stopped, breathed, wanted 1 more, wrote a placeholder opener. Quick update on growth and churn. 30 minutes later, after 2 more units, she had a skeleton she could refine in peace. The win wasn't eloquence, it was presence. That's behavioral activation. Action first, motivation and clarity second. Coach lines that disarm the critic. Possible beats perfect, 1 messy line. Right now, what's the next sentence? We stop at the ding, quality comes later. Say them out loud. Mouth-to-ear interrupts rumination and returns you to the page. Common pitfalls and fixes. Pitfall, chasing voice before you have content. Fix, ship structure first, thesis and bullets, then layer tone. Pitfall, opening past drafts for reference and falling into compare mode. Fix, full screen the new doc during the 5. Pitfall, aiming for a clever hook. Fix, placeholder intro now, hook in a later set. Want a pro move? Use scaffold then slot. First unit, 3 bullets only. Second, write 1 sentence under each bullet. Third, add 1 transition between bullets 1 and 2. You're building rails, then sliding cars into place. Rails reduce wobble, cars can be upgraded anytime. Remember, drafting is outflow. The only metric that counts is atoms on the page. 1 ugly thesis, 2 bullets, stop. That tiny ship lowers threat, raises clarity, and makes the next 5 easier. Keep it dirty. Keep it bounded. Then choose, don't drift. Trap 3, the setup spiral. This trap feels responsible, even noble. Tools promise control. Systems look like competence. So you reorganize your task manager, redesign your tags, rewrite your naming conventions, then realize the actual work is untouched. That's the setup spiral, building the runway instead of taking off. Under threat, it's comforting because checkboxes and templates answer ambiguity without exposing anything. But every minute you spend polishing scaffolding, without shipping atoms, trains your brain that structure is safer than substance. Why it happens? Tools act like a shield. If the tool is messy, you can blame the system instead of risking your work being judged. Systems also offer infinite next improvements, so there's no natural stop. You get the buzz of progress without the risk of delivery. The cost is hidden. Setup inflates perceived readiness while your evidence stays zero. Identity quietly erodes because nothing leaves your head. Let's flip it with a tiny ship menu designed for setup-heavy work. Pick one. Complete one live checklist item tied to a real deliverable. Fill one high-friction field in a real form, then save. Create one template stub with a title and 3 placeholders, then stop. Rename one active file to Start Task Date and move it to the top folder. Now a 5-minute run you can copy. Say it out loud. 5 minutes complete one real subtask without changing tools. Timer on. Open the live task, not the dashboard. Do exactly one subtask that moves the project. Paste copy into slide 3, record one line of VO, export one image, fill the project code field and click save. Ding. Stop. Stand. Breathe out longer. Ask, do I want one more 5? If yes, choose a second subtask in the same tool. If no, close and count the ship. Stop and rest rule matters here because setup spirals thrive on drift. At the ding, no polishing the system, no quick tweak to tags. That's scope creep disguised as tidiness. Respect the stop to keep start safe. Common mistake, building a dashboard instead of completing one task. You'll tell yourself, I'm future-proofing. Translation, I'm avoiding exposure. Another mistake, tool hopping mid-minute. This would be easier in Notion. One tool per 5-minute unit. The minute is for shipping, not evaluating platforms. Let's add Ship First Setup. This upgrades your environment only after atoms ship. The rule, ship 1 unit, then earn 1 minute of system edits if you still want them. Tool tweaks become a reward, not a prerequisite. That puts structure back in service of substance. A friction fix. Prestage a setup ship block at the top of your main board or dock. Today's real subtask. Tool I'll use 1. Evidence when done. Before the timer, fill those blanks. Paste final headline into landing page. Webflow editor. Live page shows headline. Evidence keeps you honest. Micro story. A PM spent 2 afternoons designing an elegant backlog view. 0 tickets moved. We ran MVM, 5 minutes, move the oldest ticket to in progress and write 1 acceptance criterion. Ding. Rest. Second unit, post 1 comment tagging the owner with a single next step. 10 minutes, 2 artifacts. The board looked worse, but the project moved. Next day, he earned 2 minutes to clean labels. Ship First Setup stuck because the relief lived in motion, not aesthetics. Coach lines that snap you out of setup. 1 live subtask, then decide. Tools help after the ship. Evidence beats elegance. Guardrails that protect scope. No renaming systems during the 5. No new tags or folders mid-unit. No template perfection, stubs only. At least 1 full stop per session before any system tweaks. Try this ladder when you need more structure without spiraling. Ladder 1, ship a subtask. Ladder 2, spend 1 minute adding a single field or checkbox that makes that subtask easier next time. Ladder 3, write a 1-line next ship at the top of the task. You're building the road behind you, not a highway to nowhere. Want a pro move? Pin the pain. After a ship, write 1 friction you felt, login lag, file name confusion, buried link, and remove exactly 1 click related to it during your earned setup minute. 1 click per day compounds. Your system gets lighter while shipping remains the main act. Remember the test. If a stranger can't see, open, or click something new after your 5, you were likely in setup. 1 ship first, then structure. That order keeps tools honest and turns systems from a hiding place into a force multiplier. Environment, 1 tap ships, not 1 tap tools. Your brain picks the shortest path to relief, so make the shortest path lead to shipping, not tinkering. The 1 tap rule is simple. A shortcut opens the exact file in edit mode, cursor ready, so a ship can happen in under 5 seconds. Not the app, not the homepage, the live artifact. When your fingers land, they're already on the work. Set up 3 direct shortcuts today. 1 for writing that opens your active doc on the first line. 1 for email that opens drafts with a new message addressed and the subject field selected. 1 for design that opens the current canvas, not the project list. Put them on your dock, taskbar, or as keyboard launchers. 2 clicks saved at the start is the difference between motion and a quick check. Pre-stage the page so the first move is obvious. At the top of your doc, leave a bold line. Next, one ugly sentence. In your inbox drafts, add subject, bad first pass. In Figma, drop a sticky that says place one rectangle here. That line is a handle your hands can grab. Clarity beats courage, and pre-staging manufactures clarity on demand. Run a fast friction audit. Take your top 3 starts for tomorrow. Write the first 3 actions it currently takes to begin each one. Your job is to remove 2 clicks from each start. That might mean pinning a tab, creating a deep link, using an app-specific URL, or saving your login. You're not chasing speed for its own sake. You're removing tiny taxes your threat brain won't pay when it's stressed. For 5 minutes, blockers go invisible. Quiet mode on, full screen the active app, hide the dock, and put your phone face down behind your monitor. You're not banning anything forever. You're shaping a tiny window where nothing competes with the ship. The promise to your body is nothing else needs me for 1 minute. That promise lowers threat and keeps your start safe. Create a tiny start script text that lives on your desktop. First lines, 5-minute ship, stop, rest, decide. Fill the blank before you open any tool. Mouth to eye beats rumination, and having the script in view spares you from reinventing language under pressure. Add one more line, evidence when done. For example, 1 sentence added to intro or 1 subject line saved. Evidence focuses your attention on signal. Use one-tap automations where possible. Keyboard Maestro, auto hotkey, shortcuts, whatever you have, bind a key to open today's doc in edit mode or to create a new draft with the recipient pre-filled. Practice the shortcut until your hands move before your critic speaks. Motor memory beats mood. When the path is paved, your brain relaxes. Fix your file names so they act like launch buttons. Action first names sort to the top. Start Q3 update 2026-0102. On mobile, make a widget that opens that exact file. Confusing names are invisible under stress. Action names shout, start here. Anchor spots help more than motivation. Decide where writing happens, where admin happens, where review happens. At each anchor, pre-stage the exact first move. Water and headphones at the writing spot, calculator and bank bookmark at finance, reset sticky on the monitor. The object is a cue, the cue triggers the script. Don't over-engineer. If the perfect system takes longer than 1 minute to activate the first action, it's too heavy. Reduce until you can start in 1 tap. 1 doc, 1 shortcut, 1 visible next line. You can always add polish after you ship. Quick checklist to run tonight. Create 3 one-tap shortcuts that open exact artifacts. Add next 1 ugly sentence to the top of your main doc. Remove 2 clicks from each top start. Set a 60-second focus, mode tied to your primary app. Leave a start script with today's date and a blank ship line. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Make shipping the path of least resistance. When 1 tap equals hands on the work, MVM fires cleanly, and your starts stop depending on willpower. Coach language, talk yourself into shipping. Your tools are ready. Now fix the voice that steers your hands. The critic spikes threat, amygdala alarm, and widens the gap to the first move. The coach lowers threat and hands you 1 clear action, keeping prefrontal control online. Treat language like a lever, not a diary. You're not reporting feelings, you're cueing motion your body can follow. Let's build your swap deck. Read these out loud so your mouth sets the tone. Always never becomes right now. I always procrastinate becomes right now I'm opening the doc. Why am I like this becomes what's next. Why am I like this becomes what's the next sentence. Perfect becomes possible. It must be perfect becomes what's a possible first line. Finish becomes start. Finish the report becomes start with 5 minutes, 1 ugly sentence. 3 prompts cover 90% of stuck moments. What's the smallest ship? What's easy now? What's 5 minutes? The first shrinks the task. The second finds the low friction door. The third locks scope to the MVM boundary. Say 1 prompt, answer in 1 clause, move immediately. Prompt then motion, not debate. Use the out loud rule. Mouth to ear beats thought to thought because hearing yourself say, 5 minutes, 1 unit, stop, breathe, decide, interrupts rumination and sets a rhythm your body can trust. Keep the tone flat and kind. Calm paramedic, not hype squad. Open the file. 1 ugly line. Stop at the ding. clarity lowers threat, kindness lowers resistance. Your critic has 3 favorite tricks. Time distortion. If you start, this will take forever. Coach reply, 5 minutes then decide. Identity smear, you're not the kind of person who follows through. Coach reply, right now, start anyway. Identity follows action. Catastrophe preview, if this isn't perfect, it's ruined. Coach reply, possible beats perfect. One messy line. When anxiety spikes, sequence instead of argue. Use the 3 thens ladder. First, then breathe out longer. Then name the tiny ship. Then set the 5-minute timer. You're not negotiating values, you're running rails that carry you into motion. Here's a pocket script to memorize. Right now, breathe out longer. I'm shipping 1 tiny unit. 5 minutes on the timer. 1 ugly sentence. Stop at the ding. Want 1 more? Say it once a day until your mouth can run it under pressure. The words do the heavy lifting, you ride the script. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't try to feel motivated first. Motivation is a lagging indicator, action leads. Don't sugarcoat with fake cheer. Loud and syrupy makes your critic argue. Flat and specific ends the debate. Don't stack instructions. 1 sentence, 1 verb, move. If you catch yourself teaching a TED talk in your head, cut to right now, hands on keys. Make the swaps visible where you start. Put a sticky at your anchor spot. Right now, right arrow open. Finish right arrow start. Perfect right arrow possible. Add the 3 prompts below. When your eyes land on the sheet, read 1 line and act. Scripts beat stress, props beat memory. Let's practice with 3 quick reps. You open the draft and feel the clench. Critic, not ready. Coach, what's the smallest ship? Answer, 1 ugly thesis. Timer on, ding, stop, reassess. Inbox dread, critic, this will eat the day. Coach, what's 5 minutes? Answer, sort 5 subject lines. Timer, ding, stop. Set up itch. Critic, fix the system first. Coach, what's easy now? Answer, paste copy into slide 3. Timer, ding, stop. Micro story, a marketer's loop was make it excellent or don't start. We swapped to possible first, polish by choice. She taped the pocket script to her monitor. Day 1, she ran 3 5-minute units. 1 ugly headline, 2 bullets, 1 subject line. She stopped at each ding. By week's end, starts felt light because her nervous system trusted the boundary her mouth set. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Clarity in words creates safety in starts. Use coach language to shrink the task, set the boundary, and cue the move. Say it, then ship it. Momentum metrics, count ships, not hours. Now we make progress visible so your brain chases the right thing. Count ships, not hours. A ship is any completed 5-minute MVM unit, whether you continued or stopped. Each unit equals 1 check. No exceptions. Hours lie under threat, artifacts don't. Measuring shipped atoms rewards behavioral activation, small actions that reliably change state. Set up a dead simple tracker. 5 small boxes for today labeled 1-5. Put it where you start, top of your dock, a sticky on your laptop, the first tile in your notes app. After each ship, check a box immediately. That fast feedback pairs relief with motion. It tells your nervous system, starts equal wins. You're retraining reward prediction. Relief comes from action, not escape. Add tiny initials if you want light categorization. W for writing, E for email, D for design, A for admin, F for fitness, S for study. Don't add times or colors. 1 letter per check is enough signal without becoming a system to maintain. If all your checks are E and A by Friday, plan 1 W tomorrow. The tracker nudges without shaming. Use the floor rule to build resilience. 1 MVM keeps the streak alive. If the day goes sideways, run a 2-minute micro ship at night, open the doc and add 1 ugly word, write 1 subject line, do 10 slow squats. Check 1 box and go to bed. Recovery beats regret, streak elasticity protects identity. Again, this is behavioral activation at the floor, the smallest meaningful action to flip state. Pair every check with a micro celebration. Say yes out loud, tap your desk, or play a soft tick sound. It's tiny on purpose. You're conditioning your brain to expect a reward when motion happens, not when you escape. That pairing moves relief to action and makes tomorrow's first box easier to earn. Build an evidence bank called Tiny Wins. 1 sentence per day max, ugly thesis at 9:10, 5 subject lines at lunch, filled vendor ID field. On hard days, read the last 7 lines. Receipts beat feelings when the critic is loud. Weekly, run a 3-minute momentum tweak. Ask 3 questions. How many checks this week? Which day had the fewest? Why friction, energy, or clarity? Then act once. Remove 1 click from a top start, pre-stage 1 next line, or write 1 coach prompt for a known trigger. 1 tweak per week compounds. Avoid perfection tracking. If your tracker takes longer than 30 seconds to update, it's too heavy. Dashboards are a procrastination costume. Boxes and initials are enough. Remember the checkpoint phrase: we count starts, not stories. If you shipped, it counts. If you told yourself a story about starting but didn't move for 5, it doesn't. Keep the metric honest so your brain trusts it. What if checks drop for 2 days? Don't blame motivation. Tune the system. Shrink the unit. Drop to 3 minutes or even 1. Remove 2 clicks from the start. Make the ship absurdly small: 1 clause, 1 file name, 1 rectangle. Metrics are feedback, not judgment. Use them to adjust friction, not attack yourself. Here's a quick micro story. A client tracked hours and felt like a failure nightly. We switched to 5 boxes. Week 1, she averaged 2 checks a day. Week 2, 3. By week 4, her start streak hit 14 days. Output rose as a side effect, but the real change was emotional. Starts felt light because wins were frequent and believable. Your daily loop now looks like this. Name 1 tiny ship, run 5 minutes, stop, check a box, celebrate, decide. 5 boxes is a strong day, 1 box is a saved day. Either way, identity updates, I start. That identity makes tomorrow's start lighter, which earns more checks, which strengthens the identity. That's compounding momentum. If you remember nothing else here, remember this: what you measure grows. Measure shipped atoms. Count checks you can earn in 5 minutes. Celebrate the check. Tweak friction when checks dip. Keep the metric simple enough to survive your worst day and honest enough to train your best ones. Anti-relapse. Recognize, reset, write a review. Relapse isn't failure, it's gravity. If you don't put light rails around your day, the busy traps slowly regrow. The 3-move antidote is recognize, reset, review. It's fast, boring on purpose, and it protects the trust you've built with MVM. Recognize means you label the loop early without judgment. Use 4 quick tags: trigger, thought, feeling, action. Say or scribble them in 10 seconds. Trigger, calendar ping. Thought, I'm already behind. Feeling, tight chest. Action, opened YouTube. That's it. Facts, not a biography. Labeling shrinks unknowns and lowers threat just enough to create a gap you can steer, calming the amygdala so the prefrontal cortex can re-engage. Now here's where most people mess up. They recognize and then analyze. The second you start asking, why am I like this? You slide back into rumination. Treat it like weather. Ah, rain. Label once, move on. Reset fires immediately after recognize. Run the exact MVM you've practiced. Say, I'm shipping 1 tiny unit. Set the 5-minute timer. Do the smallest visible move. Stop at the ding. Breathe out longer than you inhale. Ask, do I want 1 more? Same script every time. Scripts beat stress because your nervous system learns what happens next. This is the behavioral activation pivot, replacing avoidance relief with motion relief. Add a safety net line when the critic fights back. We're only deciding for 5 minutes. That boundary shrinks perceived cost and gets you through the first touch. If 5 feels big, shrink the unit, not the rule. 1 clause, 1 subject line, 1 rectangle, 1 field. The goal is motion, not magnitude. Review glues the gains in 2 minutes at the end of your day. Write 3 lines, worked, friction next. Worked, 2 ships on report, 1 on inbox. Friction, login lag to the doc. Next, pin the doc and pre-stage an ugly thesis. Keep it neutral and functional, no report cards. You're adjusting dials, not grading yourself. Tie review to a tiny tweak once a week. Remove 1 click from a top start. Pre-stage 1, next, ugly sentence line. Write 1 coach prompt for a known trigger. 1 tweak compounds, overhauls collapse under threat. Let me show you a quick run in the wild. It's 2:15 p.m., your usual slump. Recognize, trigger post-lunch fog, thought I'll never catch up, feeling heavy eyes, action tab hopping, reset, 5 minutes sort 5 subject lines, timer, 5 decisions, ding, stand, breathe, decide, review at day's end, worked, 2 inbox sorts at 2:15. Friction, inbox defaulted to all mail. Next, set default to unread. Guardrails keep this honest. Label once, then move. No second paragraph. Same reset script every time. Don't improvise under pressure. Stop at the first ding at least once per session to protect trust. Facts over stories and review. 0 ships after 3 p.m. beats, I was lazy. Set 2 automatic cues so the system runs even on rough days. Put a recognize plus reset reminder at your known dip times, morning start and after lunch. When it pings, you TTFA, run 1 MVM and go back to your day. Then pick a consistent review moment, the last 2 minutes before you stand up. Same words, same moves daily. Micro story, a developer's afternoons were a wipeout. We added a 3:00 p.m. alarm labeled TTFA right arrow MVM. Day 1, trigger, Slack ping. Thought, everyone needs me. Feeling tight jaw. Action, answered easy messages. Reset, 5 minutes, 1 commit, remove a warning. Ding, review, friction, repo took 3 clicks. Next, pin repo. 2 weeks later, afternoons held because the rails caught the slide at the first turn. If you stall for 2 days, don't moralize. Tune. Drop to 1-minute units, remove 2 clicks from the most painful start, and run 1 reset at night to protect the streak. Recovery beats regret. Write this on a sticky. Recognize, reset, right arrow review. Under it, the checkpoint line. We count starts, not stories. Use it daily. Recognize quickly. Reset kindly. Review briefly. The loop can't rebuild when you keep loosening it at the first turn. Scaling up from MVM to clean sprints. You've got safe starts. Now we stack them into clean, focused blocks without triggering the critic. Think of this as graduating from micro reps to deliberate sets, same mechanics, just longer by choice. Keep the biology in mind. Short, predictable exposure keeps the amygdala quiet and the prefrontal cortex in charge. Here's the principle. Stack safe minutes into 15-25-minute blocks by choice, not drift. You're not chasing flow. You're building a train of small, contained cars that add up to a sprint. The moment it stops feeling safe, you drop back to single units. Safety first keeps consistency high. Start with the latter. Run 3 MVMs with 60-second rests between. After the third rest, you can choose to continue into a longer sprint or close for now. The latter proves to your nervous system that intensity scales while the exits stay open. It also warms cognition without the pressure of a marathon promise. Respect the boundary that keeps sprints clean. Stops protect future starts. That means you still stop at the first ding at least once per session. Skipping the stop trains your body that starts equal traps. Keep 1 clean stop, and the door stays light for tomorrow. Scope planning happens before the sprint, not during. Define 3 to 5 ship units you can point to. For writing, that could be ugly thesis, 3 bullet scaffolds, 1 transition, 1 placeholder outro. For research, 3 one-sentence findings with source links, 1 counterpoint, 1 where it plugs in note. For setup, 2 live subtasks, 1 template stub, 1 renamed file, 1 field filled. List the units on a sticky. That list is your rail, the sprint just drives the train. During the sprint, you still run by units, each 5 minutes is 1 car. What changes is the cadence. Timer on, unit shipped, mark a quick tick on paper, new unit repeat. At the 15-20 minute mark, take a 60-90 second stand and breathe. Decide whether to run another cluster. No silent upgrading. Choice keeps scope honest. Common pitfalls to avoid when you scale. Chasing flow. Flow is great, but the goal is clean output you can repeat tomorrow. If you catch a wave, ride for 1 more unit, then check in. Skipping rest. Short rests reset attention and keep the critic quiet. Without them, quality drops and you burn tomorrow's start. Moving goalposts. Mid-sprint, you'll want to add just 1 more complex deliverable. That's scope creep. Stick to the list you made before you started. Let me show you exactly how to set up a clean sprint. Before you open tools, write, sprint target, 20 minutes. Under it, list 5 tiny ships. Example for drafting, ugly thesis, 3 bullets, 1 transition, 1 placeholder intro, 1 tagline. Set a repeating 5-minute timer with a 5-second chime so you don't watch the clock. Full screen the doc. Start with the smallest ship. At each ding, drop a tick mark on paper, take 1 breath, and start the next ship within 10 seconds. At 20 minutes, stand, breathe out longer, and decide, continue or close. The thing most people miss is energy bookkeeping. Sprints are about clean attention, not endurance. 2 crisp 20s with real ships often beat 1 messy 60. If your energy dips, scale down to 2 units and a longer rest. If your energy is high, you can ladder 3-4 units, rest, then 3-4 again. Keep the exits visible. Respecting stops sustains prefrontal control and prevents the starts or traps prediction from returning. Use a simple readiness check before you commit to a longer block. RCA, readiness, clarity, anchors. Readiness, quick body scan, tense jaw, shallow breath. Take 2 longer exhales first. Clarity, is your 5-ship list written? If not, write it. Anchors, do you have a 1-tap shortcut open and your start script visible? If not, fix it. 2 minutes here saves 20 of drift. Want a pro move for deep work? Run a gate at the halfway mark. After 2 or 3 units, ask, is the next ship still the smallest visible unit toward the outcome? If not, rewrite the next 2 ships. Gates keep accuracy high and prevent golden polishing. Micro story. A PhD candidate needed a 90-minute writing block but always crashed at minute 8. We shifted to clean sprints, 3 MVMs, rest, 3 MVMs, rest, optional 2 more. She perlisted ships, ugly thesis, 3 bullets, bridge, placeholder intro, 1 pull quote. First session, she ran 6 units with 2 rests, 30 minutes total work, 5 artifacts. The next day, she repeated and chose to extend the second cluster to 4 units. 2 weeks later, she had 4 stable 25-minute sprints per week. The lever wasn't stamina, it was safe stacking, behavioral activation scaled and bounded. Tie sprints to momentum metrics without inflating pressure. Each 5-minute unit still earns 1 check. A 20-minute sprint is 4 checks. Keep the celebration per unit, not per block, so your brain keeps chasing starts. If you remember nothing else about scaling, remember this line. Stack units, not willpower. Plan ships before you start. Respect stops to protect trust. Use rests as resets, not rewards. Choose scope at the top and re-choose at gates. That's how minutes turn into clean sprints that you can repeat on command. Guided session, 3 5-minute runs you can copy. Let's bank 3 real wins together. We'll run 3 5-minute ships, research, drafting, and setup. I'll cue the line, you do the micro move, we stop at the ding, then decide. Keep it laughably small. We're proving motion delivers faster relief than avoidance. Run 1, research. Say it out loud, 5 minutes, 1 abstract, 1 sentence. Now set your timer. Open exactly 1 cued source or the top credible result. Skim the abstract only, no scrolling, no related articles. Find the central claim. In your notes, type a single line that begins with "this suggests," then paste the source link right under it. That's your artifact. Ding hits, we stop. Stand up, exhale longer than you inhale. Notice if your shoulders dropped even a millimeter. That's the signal. Ask, do I want 1 more 5? If yes, pick a second unit, 1 stat plus link or 1 counterpoint sentence plus link. If no, close it and count the ship. Quick mistake check. If you highlighted but didn't write a line with a link, you collected input, not outflow. Fix it in 10 seconds now, write the sentence, paste the URL, then stop. Run 2, drafting. Say, 5 minutes, 1 ugly thesis and 2 bullets. Timer on, open your active doc. Type the ugliest, most disposable first line that states your point without style. Aim for obvious, not clever. Example, this update explains the delay and the 3 fixes underway. Now add 2 crude bullets under it that you know belong. What caused the delay? What we're doing next? Keep your fingers moving. No backspacing, no swapping adjectives, no checking past drafts for voice. If you need to fix something, wrap it in fix later and keep typing. Ding hits stop. Stand, 1 longer exhale, let your gaze land far away for a beat. Ask, do I want 1 more 5? If yes, add a 3rd bullet or drop a placeholder intro like quick context, then plan. If no, close and count the ship. Common trap, feeling the urge to tweak commas. That's editing. Return to bullets. We batch polish later by choice. Run 3, setup. Say, 5 minutes, complete 1 live subtask without changing tools. Timer on. Open the live thing tied to a deliverable, no dashboards. Pick a single subtask you can finish and point to, paste final copy into slide 3 and hit save. Fill the vendor ID field and click submit, export 1 image and drop it into the folder. Rename the active file to start, task, date. Do only that 1 move. No tag tweaks, no quick reorg, no tool hop. Ding hits, stop. Stand, exhale longer, check for the tiny sense of ease. Ask, do I want 1 more 5? If yes, choose a 2nd subtask in the same app. If no, count the ship. Trap check, if you caught yourself improving the system, you slipped into setup spiral. Earn system edits only after shipping atoms. Now, a quick reflection that locks the learning. Name the tension level you felt before each run: tight chest, scattered, heavy. Then the drop after each ding: lighter, clearer, neutral. You're teaching your nervous system that motion predicts relief and stops are respected. That's the trust we need for clean sprints. Optional chaining, not mandatory. If any run felt warm, choose 1 more minute on that same task. Say, 1 more 5, 1 unit, stop, breathe, decide. If you're done, you still win. Starts, not marathons. Let's capture the receipts in 20 seconds. Open a tiny note called Tiny Wins. Add 3 lines. Research, 1 sentence plus link on topic. Drafting, ugly thesis plus 2 bullets in doc name. Setup, completed subtask in tool. Now add 1 friction you notice to delete tomorrow. Doc took 3 clicks. Subject line felt vague, template buried. Pick 1 lever to remove 2 clicks or pre-stage 1 next. 1 ugly sentence line before you close. Quick coach lines you can reuse anytime. 1 sentence, 1 link, then stop. Possible over perfect, 1 messy line. 1 live subtask, not a dashboard. You just banked 3 ships in under 20 minutes of work time with clean rests. That's what compounding feels like. If you want to repeat the set later today, copy the same pattern. If not, keep the identity shift: I start, I stop, I decide. That's the muscle that makes tomorrow lighter. Action assignment plus 3-day plan. Let's lock this in with a light, repeatable plan you can run without drama. Today, pick 1 avoided task, the one that tugs your attention when you're quiet. Define 1 tiny ship you can point to after 5 minutes. Say it out loud. 5 minutes, 1 unit, stop, breathe, decide. Set the timer. Do only that unit. Ding hits, stop. Take 1 longer exhale. Ask, do I want 1 more? Either answer is a win because starts, not sprints, change state. Log the win immediately. Check 1 box on your 5-box tracker. Write 1 line in your tiny wins note. Shipped. 1 ugly sentence, 1 subject line, 1 field saved. Then remove 2 clicks from tomorrow's start. Create a direct shortcut to the exact file, pin the tab, or save a deep link. That's your tiny tweak. Tomorrow. Prestage the exact first move so tomorrow you doesn't negotiate. At the top of the doc, write next. 1 ugly sentence about X, or in your email draft, leave subject, bad first pass, ready. Then run 2 MVMs on the same task with clean stops between. Keep scope tight. If you want more after the second unit, choose it, don't drift. Check 2 boxes, log 2 1-line wins, and note 1 friction to delete. Day 3, add a second task for 1 MVM while keeping the original alive for 1. That means 1 5-minute ship on the original, 1 5-minute ship on the new. You're building range without weight. Keep the floor rule. If the day goes sideways, run a 2-minute micro ship at night. Open the file and add 1 ugly word, write 1 subject line, or do 10 slow squats. Check a box and sleep clean. Safety net. Protect trust with the stop and rest every time. Respect 1 full stop per session, even if you feel momentum. Avoid silent upgrades. If I'll just finish it pops up, smile, finish the unit you named, and decide at the ding. Daily cadence in 90 seconds. Morning, read your pocket script out loud. Right now, breathe out longer. I'm shipping 1 tiny unit, 5 minutes. 1 ugly line, stop at the ding. Want 1 more? Then run 1 MVM immediately. Afternoon slump, set a reminder labeled Recognize Right Arrow Reset. Label TTFA quickly, then run 1 MVM. Day end, review in 3 lines, worked, friction, next, and pre-stage the next, 1 ugly sentence line. Optional upgrade if energy is high on day 3. Chain 2 units into a clean 10-minute mini sprint on the original task, keeping 1 full stop between. Make the 5-ship list before you start. If it feels heavy, drop back to singles. Assignment in 1 breath. Today, 1 avoided task, 1 tiny ship, 1 MVM, 1 tweak to remove 2 clicks. Tomorrow, pre-stage 2 MVMs on the same task. Day 3, 1 MVM on the original, 1 on a second task. Floor rule saves the streak with a 2-minute micro ship if needed. Boxes visible. Wins logged. Friction deleted, 1 click at a time. You're not proving grit. You're teaching your nervous system that starts are safe, stops are respected, and small counts. 3 days of that prediction shift is enough to make momentum your default. Key takeaway: fear pushes you to plan, but 5-minute tiny ships flip relief to motion, rebuild trust, and turn busy into shipped atoms. That's behavioral activation in plain clothes. Small actions first, feelings follow. Run one 5-minute MVM right now and comment your tiny ship. Then subscribe for the deep work sprint video next, and keep your 5 daily boxes where you'll see them. End this video and start your minute.